go. All right. Good morning. It's right at 10 o'clock. We'll give it a couple more minutes to get a few more people. Hopefully they're able to get their settings going and get jumped in. I've got emails coming in. They're probably having a challenge. Let's see. Here we go. No, I think we're good. Okay. Few more minutes, just a couple more minutes. It's only 10, right at 10:01.
I'm not on camera, so I'm just gonna go ahead and open this door back up. Oh.
All right, this is a very participatory type activity today, guys. So hopefully your mics are working and you're not afraid to, like, obviously nobody else wants to share their video on a Tuesday morning except for me. So fine, I'll just look at myself, I guess. Nobody else wants to be a video sharer this morning. I mean, I put my makeup on, I comb my hair. I mean, I got myself all ready for this morning. See, I get to see some smiles. I love it. Okay, so I hope you do have a microphone because I do want to do introductions. You know, we are a chamber, so we network a little bit. So hopefully we can get this started. We'll go ahead and start with some introductions this morning, part of the welcome part of it. Obviously, I'm the new guy here at the Ozark Chamber. I took over April the 1st. We made the announcement that I was joining the chamber on April the 1st as the president CEO, and it was kind of a joke amongst myself and the board members, like, are they going to believe it, right? Or is this a big April Fool's joke? And we went ahead and launched it anyway. It's been great. I've been excited to be here. There's so much potential and opportunity. There's been so much hard work done in the last few months, and frankly, the lifetime of the chamber. This is a 75-year-old chamber, and you know, there's been some ups and downs, just like any organization or any networking group or anything like that. And yet, what the board was able to do at the end of last year, to begin this year, to basically work the hard work behind the scenes to pave the way to get us to where we are today is awesome. We had an office located to get the Ozark Chamber back in an office within about 3 to 4 days, and we're in here now. And it's great. It's up here at 1503 South 3rd Street, which is kind of near South Street and, well, 3rd Street, which is the main drag coming through Ozark. But right at the top of the hill, there's a come and go about 2 buildings away from me. So we've got a great location with a high visibility traffic, and it's allowed us to do some committee meetings and not have to be stuck in a bar or restaurant somewhere and with all the distractions. So it's been really good. And I'm loving it. And I'm glad to be here and be your president CEO. And we're all working together with the board and working on some other stuff we're going to talk about in a few minutes and get some more people engaged so that hopefully we can continue to on this great path with the Ozark Chamber. So, okay, a little bit about me. Let's just go through. Oh, I got a guest from another Chamber of Commerce. So Alice, I'm going to make you go next. Come on, I saw you down at the big chamber conference just last weekend. So give us your introduction and what you do for the Hollister Chamber.
Let me find my mute button here. Unmute. Alice Yeager. I am the administrative assistant with the Hollister Chamber of Commerce, and we are really big into promoting the region, not just our community. We think that all the chambers in our region, if we just combine together and just promote each other, you know, there's no reason why the Southwest Missouri can't be a regional destination for people to go to, you know, not just Branson, not just Springfield, but we're all in this together. So we want to promote the region, promote each of our communities, and let's just make this area the best it can be.
Love it. I got a chance to sit with them quite a bit last weekend, and we had some great and powerful conversations. So very good. I'll go to Susan next. You serve on our board of directors. Give us your introduction, where you work, what you do, and why you love the Ozark Chamber so much.
All right. So good morning. My name is Susan Johansson, and I am a retail banking officer at Guarantee Bank in Ozark across from Lambert's. And I am also on the chamber board, and just recently rejoined the chamber board to help put the expo back together. So we haven't had an expo in Ozark for a few years, and so very excited, very passionate about that to get that going. And we've already been working on that, and it's going to be great. So I hope
awesome.
everybody is making plans to be able to attend that. So that'll be Saturday, September 7th at the
Yeah.
Ozark Innovative Center.
Yeah, it's going to be good. All right, I'm just going to go in the order that's on my screen. I don't know what your screen looks like, but I think I know which Tricia it is. But Tricia, you look to be next in line to give your introduction.
Hi, everyone. Hey, this is Tricia. I am representing the ATO Center for the Performing Arts. We're located over here in Nixa. We're attached to the Nixa High School. And I obviously have been a part of the chamber world for a long time, but I'm with Chris's energy and how he's revitalizing things with the Ozark Chamber. I'm looking to see how we can promote ATOS through the Ozark Chamber. So I'm excited to hear more what you have to say today.
Awesome. Thank you for being here, Tricia. All right. Somebody I met at North Park Village on a free lunch date, in which we weren't on a date together. We got invited by North Park Village. That sounded kind of weird, especially since she's married and everything. Anyway, Liza, please introduce yourself. That was a little awkward, but let's just go with it. Just own it.
Hi, I'm Liza. I represent the firm Real Estate. We recently rejoined the chamber, and I'm just super happy to be a part and looking forward to volunteering and serving. And yeah, that was an amazing lunch. It was definitely not a date, but I was super happy that you were there and I got to meet you. So thank you for all that you're doing.
Bridget served 25 years in law enforcement. Now she says, I'm going to be a realtor. So
Yes.
there you go. All right. Somebody who just kind of emailed me this morning about joining the Ozark Chamber owns a business out of Springfield. Bridget, you were able to jump on the call. Can you give us a little introduction about yourself?
Hi, yeah. So I'm on my desktop computer, so sorry I don't have a camera, so I'm dialed in. But I'm with the Carpet Shop in Springfield, and even though we're located in Springfield, we service the Ozark area. So I'm just getting some information, very curious about joining the Ozark Chamber of Commerce. So I'm glad you guys are having this phone call today because I'm really interested in joining and love to get information.
Okay, very good. Well, welcome. Ashley Morrow, you're next on my list.
Yes, hello and good morning, everyone. I am the marketing director over at Missouri Furniture, and we've been a member of the chamber for many years. So we do furniture, mattress, appliance, and now hot tubs in the Ozark, Nixa, Republic, Springfield area. So as the marketing director, I sit over, we have 8 showrooms across the state. And my goal is to try to get our team there in Ozark and the showroom manager involved in the chamber. So just kind of coming to find out some information, was glad to see this opportunity pop up and just happy to learn more.
Awesome. Glad you could join us this morning. Okay, Tim Mullins, you're up next, dude.
Sure, yeah. I actually own and run a small business in Springfield, but I live in Ozark. And I joined the chamber actually over a year ago just to get some benefits for my employees. And now I just actually have some time to actually get a little more involved. But I run a national safety compliance. We provide safety training materials. We're primarily e-commerce. We've actually been in existence for over 20 years, but most people haven't heard about us. I'm just trying to get out in the community now.
All right, very good. Well, welcome this morning, Tim. All right, I've got Patrick Morrow. You're next.
Hi, it's nice to meet everyone. I'm the director of operations over here at Appleby Healy. Dave wanted me to jump on, and I'm a point of contact for things chamber. So looking forward to getting to know you all a little better.
Well, you're going to be happy because we're going to showcase your directory listing a little bit today. So get ready for that.
All right, right on.
All right. One of our strategic partners that we have in the Ozarks, we work well with the schools, we work well with the city, we work well with all of our taxing districts, but we also work well with other, like the Hollister Chamber and other chambers and the Better Business Bureau. And I see Pam's with us today. Pam, welcome to our member orientation here at the Ozark Chamber.
Well, good morning. There goes my video. I was wondering if it was going to come on. Thank you. By the way, lovely picture. I mean, what a great group from First Friday Coffee there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you like that? Oh, yeah, that one.
I
Yes,
do.
there you go.
I do. It's a great picture. Thanks for putting me out there.
Yep.
So, and thank you for that warm introduction. I am the regional director for your Better Business Bureau. So what that means is I am here to provide support, education, outreach. That is for our business community, how I can support you and help you to be successful, how I can connect you and consumers in our area and giving information to consumers so that they are educated consumers and they know how to find quality businesses. So I am always here to answer questions. I'm always here to help. Do not hesitate to reach out at any point. And I am just very curious to learn how I can be of help to the chamber and to you, Chris, and the businesses in the chamber. So just want to learn more today about opportunities to help.
All right. Thanks, Pam. Thanks for joining us today. Chris McNeil, you're next.
Hi, I'm Chris McNeil. I'm the managing director at Stained Glass Theater right here in Ozark. And we were the only fine arts facility until the Atos Center came along. But we love our friends over at Atos. My kids are in the Nixa School District. I've lived in the Nixa Ozark area for 25 years now. So excited to be joining the chamber and promoting Stained Glass Theater, where we serve Christ through the arts. All of our productions that we do are faith-based productions. And so we're looking for Christian-owned companies to partner with.
Okay, well, welcome this morning. King Block. Dude, welcome to the membership orientation.
Hey, thank you for having me this morning. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. My name is King Block. I'm the owner and team lead of the Block Group with eXp Real Estate. Myself and Danielle Howard make up the team right now. So you'll probably see my big red truck driving around town, says you're king of real estate on it. And look forward to joining some of the committees and expounding upon the chamber as much as I can.
All right, very good. And last but not least, Anita Cook. Tell us about yourself.
Hello. I am the Executive Vice President with Educational Community Credit Union. We have been in the Ozark area since 2012 and have been a chamber member for that long. I am just really excited to hear about what's happening with the chamber. Looking very forward to the vendor fair because that used to be one of our favorites. So I'm really looking forward to all the changes that will be.
All right, very good. Well, let's get started, guys, so we can get everybody. I know some of you got to jump off a little early, and that's fine. And we are recording this, and I'll probably send the link back out at some point. But I like to do these in person. Either video or in person because it's a little bit more engaging. I don't know. There's something about watching a pre-recorded webinar that just I don't like it. But anyway, we still have to do it sometimes, and that's fine too. And so we will be getting this back out there. Okay, so by doing these introductions today, I kind of learned a little bit about what you guys wanted to learn. And I'm going to go back at the end of this today, and I'm going to ask the same question. So as we go through today's presentation, if by some chance you're like, wait a minute, he didn't cover that. Well, make sure you write it down. And if I don't get to it today, maybe we can do a one-on-one or something like that, or I'll try to get to it to the end. But make sure that you're just if I don't cover that, let me know. We're going to talk about the mission and vision of the Ozark Chamber today. We're going to get into Chamber 101, what we do. What is a Chamber of Commerce? We'll talk about how a chamber is funded, maximizing your digital profile and directory, and some of the other benefits about being a member of the Ozark Chamber. How to get involved. We have a lot of people that always want to know, hey, how can I get more engaged in the chamber? And then we'll get into a little bit, not too much, because we're still working with the board to kind of figure out the future growth of the Ozark Chamber and the direction we want to take it. We want to maintain what we're doing. But yeah, just like Susan said, we have some plans that we haven't been doing, and we're already starting to implement them. And then as we continue to grow and get more people engaged and grow the membership base and work on securing our funding, we have some big plans for the future. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Okay, so let me get over here, click on that button, and we can get to the next slide. And we can get to the next slide. We can get to the next slide. Okay. There we go. All right. So the mission and vision of the Ozark Chamber of Commerce. So this is their mission and vision that's been around for a while, and there's nothing wrong with it. But occasionally, like in any business, as we adjust and grow, then we're going to be talking about this mission and vision and maybe adapting it just a little bit. I just did come back from a conference, and a lot about diversity and inclusion, which isn't always about color of your skin. It's also about how we're reaching out to the future generations and future business leaders and making sure that we're encompassing their thoughts and their ideas as well. But I like what we have right here, and it's pretty solid. So I'm going to read this. It says, our mission, strengthening Ozark through economic impact, community enrichment, and individual connection. And then when we kind of look at our beliefs, and we have networking referrals, this is one of the key things that a chamber does. We talk about what does a chamber do? Well, we do offer members many great networking opportunities. Here's some of the different events that we've done, from First Friday Coffees to Good Afternoon Ozark Luncheon. And then we're also creating new ways. One of the things that I feel that's really, really important for a chamber to do is not only offer business to business, which we're going to dive into this a little bit more here in a minute, but business to business opportunities, but also business to community. A perfect example, the ATOS or our Stained Glass Theater. I mean, obviously, that's business to community. That's a business trying to reach out to the community to do marketing. And yet it's also business to business as they're looking for sponsorship opportunities within their own environments, correct? But also, how can they also get people inside of their building? So we want to look at not only business to business, but business to community. And that's another reason Showcase Ozark. Well, that will obviously be business to community. Something that is very passionate about me, and that is professional development. We want to also bring back more educational opportunities, working with strategic partners like maybe the Better Business Bureau or our Small Business Development Corporation or other entities in our communities, that we can be offering more educational opportunities. And I see that more classroom style, but you might also see that in the future as we might do online courses and those sort of things, depending on what that looks like. But we want to make sure that we're always focused on professional development. This says we pride ourselves on helping area professionals develop new skills, access helpful business programs, and to reach their fullest potential. Your success is our success. And then the other one that is another one, all this is why you hired me. But anyway, business development, aggressively promoting business development activities for the city of Ozark and Christian County, and work to create a vibrant, thriving local business community and for employers large and small. I call this business retention and expansion. One of the hardest things that a community, especially the size of like an Ozark or Nixa Republic, we see new businesses coming in, but we also see that we can also really truly benefit our current businesses by helping them with the retention of their workforce, retaining them in our community, providing them opportunities for growth through educational and professional development, and then, of course, helping them find the resources they need to expand and grow. And that's another reason why we have a partnership with what we have in our county, which we call it in the economic development world an EDO, Economic Development Office. And that works with the Missouri Department of Economic Development. And ours is called Show Me Christian County, which it used to be called the Christian County Business Development Corporation. And Kristen and her team, they kind of do a lot of different activities all across the county. And they're paying attention to a little bit more than, so I don't have to be honest, what's happening in Jeff City, what's happening with, grant opportunities and workforce opportunities and those sort of things. So working with our strategic partners for business retention and expansion. And then occasionally we get lucky and somebody says, hey, I want to build something cool and fun in Ozark. How can you help me out? And that's where we get involved as well. So a little bit about the mission and vision there. Okay, so Chamber 101, here we go. What do you think a chamber does? This is interactive. Somebody just holler out there and tell me, what do you think the main purpose and goal of a Chamber of Commerce is? Or anybody want to throw one out there?
I would say, this King Block, I would say to help with the business development of Ozark, to bring more businesses in, to attract more people that way, to help our taxes and our schools in the city of Ozark.
Yeah, it's true. And he's right. If you look at, a city of Ozark and the county itself is 90 some odd % funded by retail sales tax. And so it is important. And that's one of the reasons why they are our strategic partners in our community, is that if we want to have a nice amenities and services and police protection and those sort of things, then we have to have retail sales tax. And it also keeps our money local. And that is something else as we look at our shop local campaigns that we're going to be implementing here in the near future. King's Ride. I mean, it's like that's one of the main jobs of that. And because of that, that means if we're going to help promote shop local, we're going to help our businesses to attract more local customers. Well, they also need to be making sure that they're operating at the highest level that they can. And whatever that looks like, whether it's retail or commercial or service sectors or whatever that is, we want to be that resource to help them, working again with everybody in our community to provide that success. Very good, King. Anybody else have a good idea? What do you think a chamber does? Any other thoughts besides throw big events? Well, that's okay. We kind of covered a lot of it when I went into the mission and vision. I just, what's funny is that I don't know about some of you guys, but I'm kind of an old school guy. There's a TV show that was out. It's like probably the number one sitcom in my book of all time, The Andy Griffith Show. And I'll never forget one night, Andy and Barney were getting so excited. They were getting all dressed up. They got the suits on because they were going to the annual Chamber of Commerce dance. I'm like, that was back in the Andy Griffith. So chambers are known for doing a lot of events. But one of the other things that we want to be known for is how are we advocating for our local businesses? Well, it starts with our leadership. So let me kind of give you a little background. So a chamber is a 501c6, so we're a nonprofit, and you are governed by a board of directors, and these are just volunteers. And you can see we have these guys right here, these 10, but we got another face to add, which we haven't done yet. We also have a board member from the city of Ozark. Right now, they're switching it from the current city administrator, Ben DeClure, to I think Maria is going to be helping out with the new communications director. But these are our leaders. So we have Guy Calloway from Calloway Gardner Real Estate, great resource, lifetime resident of Ozark, good business leader. Cliff Davis, obviously, he's been in the chamber world. In addition, he's been heading up our OTC campus for many years now, and OTC is a big part of our future workforce development right here in Christian County. Crystal Irons, she serves as our treasurer. She works at she runs the Missouri Small Business Development Corporation, a great resource for funding, for grants, for educational opportunities through her work with the E-Factory. She's great to be a part of it. Dan Ortega serves as the communications director for the Ozark School District. And I was talking to Ashley Johnson, who was the intern for a little bit. I guess Dan was instrumental in helping her kind of make that transition and did a lot of hard work behind the scenes. Melissa Higbee, Easterly Snyder and Associates. Wow, she's going to be doing our entire architectural plans. Well, she does all of them for the Ozark schools, or a lot of them, and for Showcase Ozark, which is going to be great. Susan Harrelson, been here since 1968, serving the Ozark community, loves the Ozark Chamber. She runs a company called Premier Home Healthcare, a great resource to rely on for all things Ozark. Tim Bartholomew, I love getting small business owners. Tim's also served on the HRD, the Historic River District. As a small business owner, he knows what it's like to make tough decisions for his business. So having him on our board is a valuable resource. You got to have a banker. I mean, you just got to. I mean, you got to have a banker, because we get into these situations and we have these questions, and then you bring somebody who has served the Ozark Chamber for so many years and been a part of things such as Showcase Ozark. Susan Johansson brings a tremendous amount of value and assets to our chamber. Tracy Slagle, kind of newer to the board world, but again, she's a representative on the largest utility that serves Ozark, which is part of the economic development growth. We can't grow without water, sewer, and power. And so having Tracy on our team and her resources that she brings and her knowledge, she also has a background working for Bolivar and Republic, the cities. So she has this knowledge when it comes to economic development that's valuable for us as a chamber moving forward. And Mike Tucker, same thing. Alice, you know Mike Tucker very well, don't you? And a great resource for very involved when he was down in the Hollister area with Arrowhead Building. He moved up here to the Springfield market. He lives in the area as a business owner who has to make executive decisions for his business, his background. Alice, was he on your board of directors too at one point?
Yes, he was. He is a avid supporter of chambers, and you've got a good backbone there.
Yep. So having him on our board is also another great resource. And again, I like having people who get to who need to make executive decisions, and almost all these guys are making powerful decisions in their own businesses, which translates into a great board for our community. And having a representative from the city is also a strategic partner, and that's going to be a great resource as we get Maria transitioned. I'll have to do a board 101 with her at some point, kind of get her up to speed, but she'll be another great resource. So I'm very fortunate to have this board that I get to rely on as we look at planning moving forward. Okay, so how is a chamber funded? Oh, here's another question. I'll pop this one up. This is what we get a lot in the chamber world. Well, if I join the Chamber of Commerce, what am I going to get from that? What am I going to get for joining the chamber? And that's what we want to talk about today. But I will say this, is that there are a lot of businesses, when you have a highly functioning chamber that's hitting all three of those mission points, those beliefs, those personal development and business development and networking opportunities. And they know that, like last night, I was at the city council meeting advocating on behalf of a business owner in downtown Ozark, and having those powerful conversations, knowing we're helping them grow. There are a lot of people who make sure that they pay their annual membership, not because they're looking to get something out of it, because they believe in the mission and vision and the beliefs of what the chamber's doing. And that's something that I'm looking forward to working hard behind the scenes to advocating that. But as a member of a Chamber of Commerce, there is a tremendous amount of value for that. And we're going to dive into that in just a second. But let's talk about how we keep the lights on at the Ozark Chamber of Commerce, or frankly, pretty much any chamber in the world. Well, first of all, we have what we call dues revenue. That's that little annual invoice you get, on your anniversary month that we send to you that says, hey, please renew your dues, right? Because that is usually about somewhere between 60% of our annual funding. And it could be, I'd like to see that maybe even grow a little bit, where maybe it was 70% and 30% on events. And that means when you have 70-30, you have a very high functioning chamber, because you have a lot of strong members. And then you have a lot of strong non-dues revenue activities as well, which is such as your chamber luncheons, your sponsorship opportunities, whether we're doing Showcase Ozark and you're buying a booth, that's a non-dues revenue. So those are the two main resources that we have. Now, another thing that we're fortunate, we have some good partnerships with the city of Ozark, and they do subsidize a little bit, not much, but they do give us a little annual bump, if you will, to help us with economic development and to do things such as the business showcase and those sort of things. So those are government contracts. And believe it or not, occasionally people actually make donations to a chamber. They see that, hey, they believe in what the mission and vision is, and they believe in the hard work that all the volunteers and the board of directors and the ambassador programs that they're doing, and they just want to give a donation. Doesn't happen that often, but it does happen occasionally. And so maybe we can, hopefully, that's like the free candy, or when you go around a Monopoly and you hit the community chest and says bank error in your favor, collect $200. So that's the free candy that occasionally a chamber does receive. So that's one of the reasons why we do have to make sure that we try to get our dues paid. We want to attract new members to the Ozark Chamber. That also brings energy, people who want to get engaged and involved in the chamber world. And so that's one reason why growth is so important, and so is retention of our members. And then, of course, we're looking at creating non-dues revenue opportunities. And I'm going to explain more about that in just a second. Okay, well, actually, this next slide. So business to business versus business to community. So when you look at a suburb of a city such as the size of Springfield, right? And you look at the marketing and opportunities that are out there for a small business. When we look at most of the members of a Chamber of Commerce, when you look at the Republic, Nixa, Ozark, Willard, any kind of metropolitan area like that, Hollister could even, well, Hollister still got a little tourist going on down there, but Hollister actually has a lot of service sector stuff too, a lot of local places. Probably most of our businesses, with the exception of things such as, well, Missouri Furniture is a good example. I mean, I know that Missouri Furniture does attract people outside of the Ozark area. Lambert's obviously does. Lowe's does. Our Walmart does, as it brings people in from Sparta and those sort of things. But most of our businesses that we have in our community, when it comes to our restaurants, our dentists, our chiropractors, even our small boutiques, retail, those sort of things, most of those customers are coming from within the 65721 or very close to that general area. And so that's one reason why business to community is an important way that we offer networking opportunities. On the other side of that too, business to business is important too, as we have a lot of businesses who obviously they want to attract other businesses, whether they're in that service sector, whether they're they're a fleet mechanic and they're trying to get an HVAC company to utilize their company to grow their fleet or their fleet maintenance program. That would be business to business. So we got to make sure that we're offering a combination of both, because that's just when you go from business to community. If you look at the traditional media, such as your television, your radio, those sort of things, not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you're only reaching the majority of your customers in that 65721 zip code, well, you're paying for mass media. You're paying. I mean, if you're watching the storms like I was last night, they're like wall-to-wall coverage way up northwest of Springfield, because that is an important viewership for them. They know they have a lot of KY3 and Color 10 viewers up there. Well, I got to pay for that reach if I'm buying advertising with those mass media companies. And so we look at other resources. Digital marketing does work if it's done correctly. We have a local newspaper that has some opportunities. Our schools have some opportunities. The city parks has some opportunities, but also the chamber needs to have some opportunities for our businesses to reach its community. And then, of course, we want to create business to business opportunities as well. So business to business, as you can see, First Friday Coffee is a great business to business opportunity. Good Afternoon Ozark Luncheon, the golf tournament. Obviously, we have a lot of businesses who say, hey, I can go play golf for free and call that a work day. Ribbon cuttings, newsletters, banners, so inside of our chamber newsletters, and other business to business. That doesn't mean you're not going to reach business to community, but those seem to have a little more focus on business to business. And then we look at Showcase Ozark Current Magazine, which is something that they started right before I got here. And we have another edition coming out. This is something that we're partnering with. I don't know if you can see that in my little tiny screen because I'm sharing, but we have that. We have, believe it or not, a chamber website, which we're going to be making some improvements to that hopefully very soon, has a tremendous amount of traffic. There's still a lot of people that when they're researching a local community, they're going to go look at the Chamber of Commerce website. It's just something that happens. It's also because of our partnership with the company who does run our chamber master and software and those sort of things. It organically gets traffic. And so, yes, in the future, possibility of, banners within inside of the website. Also, the citywide garage sale, we're going to be promoting that again this fall. We're trying to bring people into our community. That's a great business to community type marketing opportunity. The Christmas parade, that's another one that we're going to be working on. Obviously, we know how much traffic the Ozark Christmas parade gets. So those are some things, and we're going to be working on some other business to business and business to community opportunities in the near future. But this is kind of what we have going on right now that's available for you as a business owner. You just have to say, okay, which category do I want to focus on? And maybe I need to have that conversation with Chris and see what's out there that I can get engaged and maybe sponsor or be a part of. And so this is some of our non-dues revenue stuff that we do here. Any questions so far? Any questions? Are we good? Keep moving? Okay, I'm going to keep moving. All right. Oh, I'm going to come back over here and click this. Okay. So talk about getting engaged. This is another opportunity right here. I just launched this last week. That QR code, if you want to grab your phone and scan it, you can right now. That is a sign-up sheet to a Google form where we're looking to get some of our programs and more committees involved. You want to really, truly build some lasting relationships in this chamber. Well, then get involved with our chamber ambassador team, our golf tournament, our Showcase Ozark Expo team, our Christmas parade, and heck, we'll find some other ways. I'm looking at with this ambassador team to create some amazing opportunities to be showcased at some of our bigger events, such as First Coffee Friday and Good Afternoon Ozark, and some other events that we're planning in the near future. That really, I always say this, the board of directors are some of our biggest cheerleaders, yet they have to make some tough decisions occasionally. They got to make decisions about budgets, whether they're going to give their CEO a raise, right? Or they're going to fire the CEO, or they're going to allow them to hire somebody else, or we're going to move into a building. They got to make those tough decisions, which I hope none of that's relevant, Susan, just throwing that out there as an example. Anyway, However, the ambassadors, they just get to be, for lack of a better term, I'm not going to call them the cheerleaders, but that's what they get to be, is kind of like that fun group who gets to kind of be exposed and to do some of the hard work, get a little extra emphasis maybe on the chamber website and at events and activities. So we're going to be asking some extra work out of them, but they're going to get a little more action. But then you may be, hey, I can come out and help. The 13th next week on Monday is the golf tournament. Say, hey, I can come by after work, and help tear down or be a part of it or whatever you need. Just let me know. We're looking for people to get engaged like that too. Or, say, hey, I don't have time to be on the committee, but where do you need me? My company's not doing a booth at the showcase, but I can come and give you 4 hours. If you said, hey, Susan, who she chairs the committee, I can give you 4 hours during the showcase on Saturday. Susan, you're going to find something for that person to do, aren't you? I mean, there's that many things that we can get them engaged in. Same thing with the Christmas parade. So we are looking to grow that. We're going to be sending some more information out about this very, very soon. I'm looking to get some meetings together, maybe a group webinar like this. So if you're interested and you want to know how you can really get engaged, scan or click on that link. If you don't get it today, email me back, director@ozarkchamber.com, and I'll send you the link privately so you can get signed up. All right. We're going to switch screens in just a second, but I wanted to kind of go over some of the different member benefits. All right. So now that I've signed up, we are a card carrying member of the Ozark Chamber of Commerce. Now, what do I really get? Okay, well, one of them is the obvious one. We do charge a higher premium for some of our activities, such as buying a ticket at the Good Afternoon Ozark Luncheon. It's a little bit more expensive to do that. You do get a price break if you are a member of the chamber. We will have certain things that we do that you have to be a member of the chamber in order to sponsor, to participate in. Sometimes we may actually allow non-members to be a part of something, but it's going to be a higher cost for them. And members are going to get first right of refusal. They're going to get the first opportunity. So that is some of the benefits you get with the early bird specials. Leadership opportunities. We just talked about this. Maybe someday your goal would be, hey, I'd like to find out, get engaged. I think I would like to serve on the board of directors, or I would like to lead a committee of a future activity or event. And I will tell you this. A lot of people over the years have brought me cake mixes. Now, my brother uses this. He's a pastor at a church. And so a lot of his congregation, they go, well, Brother Chad, we should do this as a church. You should go make that happen. And he's like, well, that's another cake mix. But sometimes people show up and go, hey, we want to do this outreach program, and we're going to meet on this day and do this and this and this, and it's not going to cost the church any money. And, he goes, well, you just brought me a cake. Well, it's kind of the same way in the chamber world. If it makes sense, if it's within our mission and vision, and somebody brings me a cake and they want to lead the charge and it fits, we're probably going to have a conversation about it, especially if it's involving one of our other events. Like it was a few years ago, I was working on another expo, and it was a community blood center of the Ozarks. They said, we would like to do a blood drive. And I said, okay, what's that look like? And they told me, and I said, all right, I'll find you a space. And they took care of everything else. So if it makes sense, we want to try to make that happen for you or your ideas, but it does have to meet our mission and vision of the chamber. And we may not always accept them. So that is that, but we always want to hear those great ideas. Some leadership opportunities are out there, ambassador program, committee opportunities that really helps you get involved. We do have a partnership with, because you belong to the Ozark Chamber, we're a member of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce, and that qualifies you, which we have about 100 and some odd businesses who take advantage of this, is there is some group insurance plans that are available. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of those because I don't practice insurance. I can steer you in the right direction. We do have some providers within our chamber who can offer that program. And so the easiest thing for you to do is probably, if you're interested, is look up insurance or health insurance inside of our company directory on the website, and then make a phone call and say, hey, does my small business qualify for that? And if so, tell me more about the details. But we have a lot of businesses who take advantage of that. All right. And because we do partner with the largest chamber database program pretty much in the country, our organic search engine optimization, our organic digital profile that we have allows you to have a little bit of an extra boost, if you will, if you take advantage of it, which we're going to cover in just a minute. And this is important because we're all fighting for that digital presence, right? And so one of the things that I noticed is that when I came to the Ozark Chamber, we didn't have on a feature that I think is crucial to a Chamber of Commerce. It's called enhanced memberships. So enhanced memberships allows you to have such as web videos, and allows you to have logos and pictures and all sorts of stuff on your directory. And if you put in the information correctly, which I'm going to show you some examples in just a second, it really can help you with your search engine optimization. And so those are some of the benefits that we have. There's many more. Is there anything that I would love to hear your ideas? What is something that, because you've joined the Ozark Chamber or even another chamber, I don't care, you could belong to multiple chambers. Tell me about a benefit that you receive from joining a Chamber of Commerce or being a part of a Chamber of Commerce. Trisha, are you still on here? Is Trisha still here? I know her. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Trisha, you've made lifelong friends because you belong to Chamber of Commerce.
True. I always feel like that you get out of a chamber membership what you put into it. And so I know that that's not always a popular opinion, but I can tell you from experience myself that showing up at those networking events, putting some money behind my membership to help put our name out there, that it has really enabled me to make those partnerships and make them for years. I mean, I've been a part of this community for a long time working, used to work for the Headliner. Now I'm representing ATOS in Nixa Public Schools. And it has enabled me to reach out to people that I've met through the chamber and be able to have conversations on how we can help each other.
But you've also been able to really develop some very close personal friendships through your connections that you went on. Maybe you're not even doing business together, but you've developed some very close personal relationships in your life because of your memberships with the chamber. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yes. I have made some great friends through through my time in the chamber. And I mean, it's great to have those relationships for business, but I mean, I've known Susan for years and years and have actually worked with her on Showcase Ozark previously, and I would consider her to be a friend of mine and have for many years. And so I'm grateful for that opportunity.
I love it. Okay, so let's dive into. Thank you for sharing, Trisha. I put you on the spot, so you did really good with it. Thank you.
You can pay me later.
Okay, so first of all, one of the things that we need to make sure that we're doing. So now I'm going to switch screens here. You're going to see what I call the back end of your online directory. So when you join the chamber, and if you haven't received your login and password, or you just lost it or whatever, you just need to email me, director@ozarkchamber.com, and I will go in there and resend you a new link, which means I'll delete your old one and send you a new one. You need to be able to log in to the back end of a site like this. Now, what I'm going to do real fast is I forgot I was going to do this. Hold on. Let me switch back over. Let me go grab another screen here. Hold on. I'm going to switch to. Is Patrick Morrow? You still on here? I'm going to show off your deal. That's okay.
Yeah, still on here.
You don't mind the free little public, PR right here. That's not a big deal. Okay, so, and this is one example, and I've seen some other ones really take it even to a new, even higher level than this. But let me show you. Heck, I hit the wrong thing again. Stand by. All right, let me go. Let me just show you. Let me go to the Ozark Chamber. And you guys aren't seeing, what are you seeing? You're seeing me Google something, right? Okay, good. So now this is the Ozark Chamber website, which we're going to be making some improvements to this soon. But if I type in, well, I can just go to attorneys. Or legal, yeah. And so if somebody finds, and there's some other ones that have done a little bit of upgrade too, but so if I click on Appleby Helix, now what they've done is they went in there and they made some upgrades. So not every business does this. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So here's their about. They've got some information in here, which by the way, the Google bots, they're looking for this information. This is what they search for. And just because you do it one and done, I would go in there occasionally and update it, because Trust me, it'll help. I've been through the website classes on how Google does organic searches, and they have these crazy bots that are out there always looking for stuff and looking for updates. So they've got some highlights. Now, some of this directs them back to their website, which is fine, but they got the logo in here. They could go as far as even adding more additional pictures, which could include, well, they've got some down here. So here we go. So they got their buildings. So they've been able to upgrade this and get some additional pictures in there. So if somebody's searching for attorney and they're using our directory, well, then they're going to see that this person's got a little bit more information out there, and they, it just helps with that SEO. So that's one example. So let's talk about how to update that. So it's not terribly hard, but first it starts with, I'm going to log in as, no, you haven't got your login yet. Okay, so let's log in as David here. So I'm going to log in. If I'm logging in as David Healy from Apple or Healy app, so this is what it's going to look like. So it'll look like this. This is where you can get into your home screen, your directory, your events. If you want to register for something, you will see upcoming events in here, as long as I'm doing my job and getting them out there for you. Different resources, reports. This is good because it's going to tell you maybe some of the clips. So they're getting some 182 member page views, 421 category search result displays, 513 other search results. This is pretty good. So these are good. You can see your different reports. We'll go back to the home screen. But first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure your personal information is up to date. One of the things is, as a new member, or it may have been a while since you've even done this, when you filled out your application, if you've been a member for a while, you may have did it on paper. Okay, there's one thing. If you did it online, that's great, but I still want to go in here and make sure that everything is up to date. Is my PO box correct? Is this my current address? Do I want to add a mobile number if I'm using a mobile number now? He's got his email in here. Does you want to put a personal bio? And I will tell you this, a lot of companies, they already have a personal bio of their staff on their websites. Just go grab it and copy it right into here. Like if I probably went to their personal website, there's probably a bio on there, David Healy. Well, just go copy and paste it and put it in here, then make sure you're hitting save changes. Also, inside of here, this is where you get to choose if you want to change the primary billing contact or become the billing contact. This is where you're going to make some of those changes. You can come in here, you can change your username and password, and so forth. So this is where you can update your photo. That's a good idea to go ahead and put your personal. Most of us already have a professional photo, so this is where you come in here and add this. If you've got social networks like your LinkedIn page or Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, you can add your social media networks. And again, this is your personal bio. We're not even to the company yet. Okay, then we get into the company. It's the same kind of thing. Now, as the primary billing contact, if that's who you are, you want to make sure that, and it's going to give you a check mark if you've got everything completed. So that's what we're looking like on the profile. But when we look at organizational information, we want to make sure everything's correct here. Maybe you're using a cell phone instead of a mobile phone or a primary phone. They've got their physical address and their mailing address. All right. If your mailing address is the same as your physical, you can click that. It helps us out with your invoicing. You've got here. This is cool. Established date 1/1/1924. How many full-time employees? How many part-time? And then, of course, the billing contact. Then we get into employees. This one is really, really important. As you make staff changes or people come and go in your organization, it would be very helpful to update this. If you want them, let's just say your company hires a new marketing person or a new sales rep or something like that, and you want to make sure that they're receiving the chamber notifications of when the networking events are, when the first Friday coffee or the chamber luncheon or whatever that is, then it's really helpful if you go in here and add them. That way you as a leader are not always trying to remember to forward those emails to the rest of your organization. So this is something that we try to. I'll get a lot of kickbacks when we send group emails out and trying to let people know they can sign up for chamber luncheons because people obviously change and come and go. So knowing your login and password, if you can go in here and update this, or you're no longer going to be the primary billing contact and you want to change that to somebody else, these are the kind of things that you can do. So if I'm going to make if I'm going to go here and make Patrick Morrow, I'm David Healy, and I want to make him the primary billing contact, I would log in as myself and change him as the primary contact or the primary billing contact. So that's where you can do those sort of things. Let me mute the phone here. Hold on. Okay. So that's really good. Obviously, your website information. I mean, it's not too hard to update website information. But another thing that you want to make sure that you're doing, and they've done a good job of getting their information in here, so that's good. Your directory choices. Now, I need to double check how many that you get, but this is kind of important. So you want to make sure, obviously, an attorney is pretty flat, not necessarily true. They could get into real estate title, elder law. They could get into a couple of different things. Obviously, there's a lot of different attorneys out there. Maybe you're an attorney, you focus just on traffic tickets. I mean, whatever. You could come in here and update some of those things in here. I got to go back and see how many that we allow you to have. I think it may be just 3, but I should have probably looked that up and I forgot to do that. But it's normally 3 is normally the amount that you can have. So make sure that you're picking the right 3. And that is that online directory. And we're probably not ever going to go back to a true printed directory on an annual basis. But if I can get this data cleaned up, which we're working on, in the Ozark Current magazine, which you can't see unless you look at the little picture of me, but we're putting the directory back there, but it's not by category. It's just by A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But in the future, I'm looking to do that, is have it by category in the back of that. Okay, logos, pretty self-explanatory. Whatever logos that you have and you want to get them in there, that's fine. Even product extensions a little bit, but you can be careful about that. This is where you can update your photos, your video. Video needs to be a YouTube link, or yeah, I think it has to be on YouTube. You cannot so you have to have a YouTube account, upload your video to YouTube, and then you can bring in the hyperlink and put it into there. Make sure that your map PIM's correct. So even though you've got the address in there, go in here, double check, make sure that Google's got you listed correctly, because sometimes I've seen it. If you don't put that address in there just right, it may throw you off a little bit. Even though you think it's right, it may not be. So double check that. And then we can get into billing, make it a payment. I don't think they owe us any money. Well, actually, hold on, let's see. No invoices found. So they're all up to date. So if I had sent an invoice, because they did just recently sponsor a hole at the golf tournament, I sent them an invoice. You would be able to see that in here. You can also go back and look at your transaction history. I had a member the other day said, I can't remember what I did in this and this and this and this. Well, all you got to do is just come in here and you can go, okay, well, I can even go back. Gosh, you guys have probably been a member of the chamber for a long time. So if I go back to 1/1 of 2001-2, which is when we first got this system, I can see almost everything they've ever done in the history of the Ozark Chamber, which to keep their private information. I'm going to jump out of that pretty quick. But that's one of your coolest benefits. And so if you've lost your login and password, please let me know. I want to make sure that we're getting you access to that. If you need guidance on that and you want to schedule a quick 20-minute, one time, I share the screen, take over your screen and help you a little bit, I can. This is pretty common here as far as the technology. If we make a change in the future to a different site or a different website or a different company, it'll still be, or not a different company, we may have to upgrade our system. But if we do, it should look very familiar, and we will probably obviously do a lot more of these type deals. I know Hollister's getting ready to update their software, their CRM system from what we call Chamber Master to their next system, because they're taking Chamber Master away and they're moving to Growth Zone. And you guys have got a new website, and I'm sure you're going to have to do some training and some things like this with your members to get them up to speed. But we'll always be offering that to make sure that we provide that for you. And then, of course, if I had made any changes to it would have reflected onto their online directory. And then, of course, hopefully their members would have gotten a notification and they can log in and they can go in and do that. So, okay, let me get back to the PowerPoint. Any questions on the online directory? We're going to be wrapping up here in about 5 minutes. Any questions on that? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for hanging in there. All right. You're seeing you're seeing that. Good. Okay. So, I was going to show you, and I will real fast. if you want more information, I did open it up. Missouri Chamber has a lot of information on that program, which maybe I did kill that I must have taken that. Crud. Well, anyway, Missouri Chamber of Commerce, if you just search group benefit plan, they've got quite a bit of information out there on that as well. So you can find that. Oop. Oh, that's the chamber luncheon. Sorry. Not that one. Where'd the other one go? There we go. Okay. With that said, the future of the Ozark Area Chamber of Commerce. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm about the future of a chamber. Believe it or not, is not about the board of directors, and it's not about the executive staff. It's not even about the strategic partners that we have within our community. I mean, it's all part of it. Don't get me wrong. The future of the Ozark Area Chamber of Commerce is going to be how do we empower and engage more people in the business community and the community itself. And what I mean by that is that when I was talking to Bow Creek Photography the other day, she was doing our chamber luncheon, and I said, you know, it's cool when we get the big wide angle views, you maybe get a picture of me teaching from the very back of the room. I said, that's awesome, or whatever. I want to get people involved. It's about the community. It's about, you know, how do we get more people engaged? And what does that look like? Well, that may look like bringing back the Working Ozark Women program, which I've been getting requests for. Do we get more after-hour events? Do we create more business coaching opportunities? Are we getting people engaged in educational opportunities? You know, it's easy to sit here and look at, hey, what event we're going to do next, right? Well, it's not always about events. It's about just engagement. You know, one of the things that talking to Dr. Lori Wilson, the new superintendent of the Ozark schools, how do we get our businesses more engaged inside of the schools? How do we as a chamber, do we not I don't want the craft fair, but I want to support the craft fair. I don't want the duck race, but we want to support the duck race. The economic impact that brings into our community alone is huge, and that benefits all of our businesses. And that is kind of where we're going. Does that mean we're going to do some additional fun things? Absolutely it does. But more importantly, as long as we're here, the board of directors feels this way too. I know that's my passion as well, is how do we get more of this community engaged and involved and working together. I have a meeting tonight with the Historic River District. I met with the Utopia group who does the craft show last week. I met with Jackie and Brad the other day talking about how we can maximize the duck race and the balloon glow through utilizing chamber resources to help people understand how important that is to our community. So that's kind of what you're going to see as we continue to evolve and grow. I like our location where we are right now, but maybe it's someday we have our own standalone building again, our own location that we're not sharing with some other people, that we can also, you know, have meetings in, and bigger meetings and a bigger visitor center and those sort of things. So that's something that we're looking at doing down the future. My big goal, a chamber this size, talking to the people down in Branson at the conference last week, we should be bumping 600 to 650 members out of this chamber. We're probably right now holding somewhere around 350 to 400. The board has a job. These are some people who maybe they could make, you know, we're just going to have a conversation about some of the names on this list, whether we need to keep them as active members or maybe it's time to move on, and how do we continue to grow and attract new people. And I had the mindset of be, do, have. A lot of people like, well, when we have the success, we're going to do the activities and then we'll be a great chamber. And my goal is, well, we're going to be a great chamber, and then we're going to do do the activities that we need to be doing, and then we're going to have the success. I mean, that's kind of the mindset, and we're going to be working hard behind the scenes to do that. Okay, I'm going to wrap this thing up because it is almost 11 o'clock. Did I miss anything? Did anybody sit here and go, wait a minute, you didn't tell me about this? Chris, is there anybody that has an additional question that we can either stay on the line after 11 or I can get a hold of you later? No? Good? Sweet. Unless you're chatting. when I'm presenting, I don't read the chats. But let me look. I got to run. Yep. Okay, Ashley Morrow, have to go. Thank you. Look forward to more. Okay, cool. So I don't see any questions in there. Okay, very good. Well, unless you guys don't have any questions or thoughts or comments, I mean, does anybody want to just say goodbye? Was this good? Let me ask you this. This is the first one that I've done for the Ozark Chamber. Was today's information valid? Did you learn something from it?
Yeah, Chris, I think it was helpful as somebody just who was kind of, engaging, on this level for the first time with the Ozark Chamber. In any case, I think it was helpful. This is Patrick.
Okay, thank you. Well, if you think of something later, Patrick, then you can email me privately. Say, hey, it would have been good to have this involved, or maybe expand upon this, or just let me know, guys, because we do want to grow from this. And maybe someday we do some of these in person. We might bring that back, but we hadn't had something like this in a while, so I just wanted to get one out there to help out some of the new members, and maybe again in the future we do some of these in person. But I don't know. The webinars seem to be pretty easy to do, don't you guys think?
Yes.
Thankfully, thanks to COVID, right? So we all had to get smart on online webinars. Thanks to
I
COVID.
appreciated you walking us through how to do our online web
All right,
directory.
well,
That was very helpful. Thank you for that.
absolutely. And if you get stuck or something,
Okay.
Chris, feel free to reach out to me. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I will let you get back to your day. And I appreciate you being on here. And again, we're looking to grow. So as you're out and about in the community, you're going to see some new sponsorship opportunities come up. It may not be a fit for your business or organization, but you may know somebody else it could be. And we're looking to grow our membership and get more people engaged, invite them to an event. I always tell people, if we get an invitation from an existing chamber member, I will sometimes, just depending on who they are, as long as they don't do it every month, I will give them the membership pricing at the chamber luncheon. They just got to call me, and you got to let me get them registered. If you're inviting somebody, I can't always buy lunch for free, guys. We're trying to, I'm trying to make some money here, and so we can keep things moving forward. But I can offer them a reduction. If you know a great prospect for the Ozark Chamber and would like to invite them to an event, I'll get them a reduced cost. Okay. Okay, if that's it, I'll let you guys get back at it. Everybody have a great
Thank you,
day, and we'll
Chris.
see you at a chamber event.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you, guys. All right, stop share. Oops, I should have closed that. Should.